This thing can become 17 feet?
Not that breed of sturgeon, but yeah, sturgeon is the largest freshwater fish.
That's insane. That would scare.
They're so big that it's like you can see them from a helicopter and it'll weird you out.
That is bananas.
But they're like they eat really tiny stuff, you know, and they don't pose a threat to humans at all.
Good to know.
And then he's a filter feeder. So he just that's all he wants to do is filter all day.
No way. I would never have guessed.
Yeah. It's not. Most people think it's a sawfish, but it's not. It's a billnose. It's a paddlefish. Excuse me.
And do you know what's that thing hanging from his?
I don't know what
He
that
just
is.
bit
That's
something?
Not, I don't.
That's not
no,
part of
no,
him?
He doesn't have teeth. He filters. So whatever that is, it's like it could be like
A leaf or something that got stuck.
maybe, or I mean, it might even be like something growing on him. I'm not sure.
It's where
Maybe he's getting. Maybe.
it started to heal.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the scab is kind of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Or maybe he's the first fish to have a mustache.
But they
you
almost
go.
they almost went extinct. There was like there
Really?
was a guy just going nuts and
Trying to save him?
no, not trying to kill him.
Wow,
For their caviar, he just ripped their stomachs open and just take their eggs.
what a horrible
They're just
person.
absolutely beautiful fish. They were one of, I think they may have been the largest freshwater fish at one time, but it was in like China or something. They were just absolutely massive, like 37 feet or something, just ridiculous. But they don't know, they get like maybe 6 feet long.
Still, this is very cool. Indiana State Fair is quite impressive.
You can catch those if you go to like, see these two types of fish are not farmable. So like bass and crappie and bluegill, they're all farmable, but these are not farmable fish for the most part. They have to have a wild environment, and so they don't get as much like relatively nobody knows about them.
Yeah. Do you know why they're not farmable, or just because their whole filtering?
Well,
they
they
need
just-
to have a lot of variety.
They're not bass and catfish and bass and catfish and panfish. They just are like they just breed super easy. So you can have like a bluegill it'll nest like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And so there's just massive amounts of them. Everybody loves to catch them because they're easy to catch. But you can't hardly catch these guys. So you need a really tiny hook to catch the sturgeon and a little bitty piece of meat, and you got to know right where to go. And this guy's a filter feeder, so you can't even catch him. What they do is they just drag a
net?
hook.
Oh, a hook?
Yeah, and they just hope to gaff him with the hook, and then they just pull him up, and then he's basically impaled at that point. It's really cruel how they treat him, but he.